What's it up, baby? Y'all know this the big boss, out boss, dog K-Po through the dope. Hits out this boxing. So we talk about Keith Thurman, man. Great win for Keith Thurman. He looked good, man. He looked damn good against Mario Barrios to me. Looked sharp. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was gonna fight. I thought he was gonna be sloppy. Not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be like the Josecito Lopez performance. I thought Keith Thurman was gonna get hurt, maybe even knocked down by Mario Barrios. Cause Mario Barrios is game. But Keith Thurman did a damn good job. Got in, got out pretty well. Was accurate. You know what I'm saying? Didn't overwork. You know what I mean? He did a damn good job. Like, I was impressed. If I had to give him a grade, I'd give him a B+. You know what I mean, compared to him being out for 3 years, you got to look at this dude been gone for 3 years, bro. He ain't fought since he fought Manny Pacquiao in 2019. You see what I'm saying? So, you got to give him his credit. You know what I mean? Like, the dude is doing a damn good job. He did a damn good job. You know what I mean? So, let's give him his credit. And, you know, I hated it for Mario Barrios, though, because, like I said, for Mario Barrios to move up to 47 and that be his first fight, you know, I would have, like, let him take a tune-up. You know what I mean? Like a little light touch. You know, and then if he, you know, get to devouring somebody, you know, man, then take Keith Thurman or, you know, whatever. But for him to go straight for Keith Thurman, you know, I was like, I didn't know about that. You know what I mean? I didn't. I ain't like that. That's just me personally. You know what I mean? Especially after he's coming off a knockout loss to Gervonta Tank Davis. You know what I mean? Like, if he gonna move up, let him get a light touch, and then, you know, go for somebody like Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? Because Keith Thurman is still a top fighter, a top talent. Let me say that. But Keith Thurman said some things that I agree with. So he pointed out that, hey, I didn't lose my WBC belt. I gave it up due to injury and inactivity. So technically, I'm still the WBC champion. And when he said that, I was like, you're not the WBC champion, but you got a point. You know what I mean? You do have a point. You did give up your belt. You know what I mean? And that's what Keith Thurman was talking that talk. Got to tilt your hat to a dude like that, man. He said it. You know what I mean? So, but good win for Keith Thurman. I want to see him in there against Terence Crawford. I think that fight is going to sell. I think that fight going to have fireworks because of the styles. Keith Thurman got an awkward style, and he let his hands go. Like, it's and Terence Crawford a dog. Like, that fight will sell. That fight gonna do numbers, and it's gonna be action packed. And I'm gonna be real with you. Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence, to me, it's gonna be one sided. Errol Spence gonna control that fight from beginning to end, break Keith Thurman down and stop him. That's just what it boils down to. Like, that's what it is. That's just what it's gonna happen. So I don't see that being more of an action-packed fight. I see that being more of a controlled, dominant fight for Errol Spence. But Terence Crawford is action-packed. You don't know what's gonna happen. Terence Crawford can win. Keith Thurman can win. You know what I mean? Now, I would favor Terence Crawford in that fight. You know, but I want that. Like, I want that fight. You know? Now, there's this thing going around about Errol Spence posted something saying on his Twitter saying Taylor. Alright. Now, he didn't tag Keith Thurman. He didn't say Keith Thurman's name. He just said Taylor. That's all he said. So people are putting two and two together. They're like, oh, he said Keith Thurman. I guess it's because the time he posted it, Keith Thurman was fighting. So Errol just put Taylor, so they putting two and two together, you know. I'm not going to go and say that he was talking about Keith Thurman because he didn't say the dude's name or nothing. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Errol Spence says Keith Thurman is tailor-made for him. I'm not gonna go along and say that. He didn't say Keith Thurman's name, so I'm not gonna sit there and spread that narrative. If he didn't say his name, I ain't worrying about it. You know what I mean? That's just me personal. Because he could have been talking about anything. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, if you really break down that fight, Errol Spence would dominate Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman know that. That's why he's been avoiding Errol Spence for so long. You know what I mean? Now, Marvelous Jarvis, who's the sparring partner for Errol Spence, he says that Keith Thurman has not been avoiding Errol Spence. It's all about money, and I have to respectfully disagree with him on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Keith Thurman know the challenges that he has to overcome with Errol Spence. Errol Spence is gonna go to Keith Thurman's body, and Keith Thurman gets hurt to the body a lot. You know what I mean? So I think that he sees that. He's like, man, I ain't trying to get hit, by Errol Spence to my body and, risk the opportunity to, me getting, stopped and look embarrassed and stuff like that. Now, against Terence Crawford is really not a ferocious body puncher like that. So I think that he's more eager to take that fight. But then, based off his recent interview, you could say he's not eager to take that fight. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, Keith Thurman, he all over the place, man. Because one interview, I want Terence Crawford. Yeah, and then another interview, he kind of reluctant. His energy ain't the same. One interview, I want to fight Errol. And then another interview, he kind of reluctant. Well, I'll fight Errol, but there has to be good stipulations. So, I think he understands the dangers of those two fights. He definitely sees that those are dangerous fights for him. And like I said, I think what Keith Thurman got to do is he gotta get back in the gym. He got to get back in the gym after this. Because I think he should fight Terence Crawford next. That's what I think. If he fights Terence Crawford, because it's February right now. So if he fights Terence Crawford in June, in the summertime, and it's all depending on what Terence Crawford does, which the only thing that makes sense for him to do is work out a deal with Fox or Showtime that guarantees him the win of Errol Spence, Ugas. You know what I mean? So he can become undisputed. But for him to stay busy, he can fight Keith Thurman instead of him fighting a nobody or fighting a fighter that's the fans don't want to see him against. He can fight Keith Thurman. You see what I'm saying? Fight Keith Thurman in June. You know what I mean? And that way, for undisputed against Errol Spence, or Ugas, that fight could be made in September or October. You know what I mean? To where they fight in the September or October. You get what I mean? And then that settles everything. So, but it's all depending on what Bud decides to do, Hopefully Bud makes a good business decision. If he's really serious about getting all these belts, he got to do stuff that makes sense. You know what I mean? But I would love to see Keith Thurman in there with Terence Crawford, man. You know what I mean? Now, if Keith Thurman doesn't get those fights, I would like to see him in there with Boots Ennis. But that's a lose-lose situation for him. Because if he get in there and he spark Boots, it's like, Boots was an up-and-coming fighter, And if he get in there, he lose to Boots, it's going to take a hit on his, his credibility and name and things like that. Although Keith Thurman has fought almost everybody at 47. I mean, he's fought Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, also things like Lopez. He's fought some talent at 47. He got a pretty decent resume. You know what I mean? So, Manny Pacquiao. So I want to You know, what I want to see Keith Thurman do is get back in the gym. You know, that's what I want to see him do. Get back in the gym, you know, and keep working, man, because I want to see him against Terrence Crawford. I would love that fight. I don't agree with the WBC making him the mandatory. Just automatically. And he's been out for 3 years. Now, I get it, because like I said, Keith Thurman technically has not lost his WBC belt. He, like, gave it up. You see what I'm saying? Like, he just gave it away due to inactivity. So, I get why the WBC may have compassion, but I would make him fight for that #1 mandatory again. I wouldn't make Mario Barrios, you know, that fight, mandatory, eliminator, whatever you want to call it. If it's me, I'll make Keith Thurman fight Boots Ennis or somebody for that. You know what I mean? Like, just have Boots. It's close to the mud to my car. Have Boots Ennis, you know, against Keith Thurman for that #1 mandatory spot. I think that'd be a way you can make that fight happen. You know what I mean? That give Boots Ennis the platform he needs and the big name that he needs for his resume. And Keith Thurman, you know, that could solidify everything, because everybody know Boots Ennis is that dude. He the future. You know what I mean? So Keith Thurman can knock him off, you know what I mean, before he gets started, then that'll show that Keith Thurman is still a top welterweight at this current time. But we'll see, man. Y'all let me know what y'all want to see Keith Thurman do next. Do y'all agree that Keith Thurman should be the #1 mandatory for the WBC? And like I say, man, Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman will be a good fight. I just think that Errol Spence would dominate him. That's just what I believe. I think Errol Spence would stop him. You know what I mean? It's a matchup nightmare for Keith Thurman. Because Keith Thurman do all that jumping in and stuff. And Errol Spence is fundamentally sound. You know what I mean? So, y'all let me know, man. Bounce it out.